Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 565 of Geeks in Space. We're watching Aliens, but I ain't doing it alone. No, sir. I'm doing it with Chris DeBona.
Hey.
Nate Ostendorp.
Get away from her, you bitch.
Rob Roseboom.
Game over, man. Game over.
Game over.
Game over, man.
So right before we started the chat, what we were kind of talking about is where we draw the line for movies for doing these things. Because in my eyes, Aliens is one notch away from basically Return of the Jedi. It's almost as dominant of a movie from my childhood as that, and it's so good. It is so what do we got? 1986. It's the James Cameron entry. Ridley Scott has made basically one of the best horror sci-fi movies ever. And this is a completely different beast entirely. It is not a horror movie. It is a military action movie. In fact, I was actually as a thought experiment as I was going through the end of this movie, I was thinking, if you basically changed the set to Antarctica and the spaceship to a boat, there's literally no reason that this needs to be in space except the alien, and at that point it could just be like a really angry cougar.
Yeah. I had forgotten that this, or at least I thought of this as not a great movie, but a very entertaining one.
You were so wrong.
Alien, but I was wrong. This is great.
Yeah.
I love this movie.
This is aces. Now this was Nate's pick.
Nate, you're a scholar and a gentleman.
So thank you, Nate, for making me happy this week. I'm gonna center the window a little.
I have not seen this movie in 25 years, and yeah, like it's a lot different than I remember just from looking at it, as a film, as opposed to just watching, people shoot at aliens.
Right, Carnage.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we'll get through it as we go through the notes, I think. But it is interesting to me that this movie might be the most example, of this genre, like the ragtag group of military folks sent into a fail mission. This is that to a T.
Yep.
It is.
Yep.
But with some awesome effects.
And one of the things I like about going through all these movies is so many of them are sort of the bedrock of movies that come after them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or at least get mentioned a lot. There's so many cultural references, and this one is just one of those movies.
Totally.
Yeah. I didn't do quite the same thing with the last one. I was marking with the Karate Kid. I was putting down anytime a shot I felt was like in the iconic pantheon.
Yes.
Like there's a list of shots from movies where if you showed them to somebody who has not seen the movie but was vaguely aware of popular culture, they might actually get that shot. And there's a ton of those in this. Although one of the more obscure things that I just wanted to bring up right at the start of the movie, how long has it been since any of you guys watched Alien?
I watched it like a month ago.
So, do you recall how the title card of Alien reveals? Because I love it. It's basically just this really minimalistic, these horizontal lines just slowly fade in with music over the course of a minute. And eventually they spell out the words alien. What I like about this is that it is infinitely more high-tech. It's accomplishing the exact same thing, but it's doing it with a million points more style. And it is, in many ways, it is the difference between James Cameron and Ridley Scott before you even get to the first shot of the movie, which is Ridley Scott can get away with like 5 horizontal lines, but James Cameron, man, he's got to add like all sorts of analog blur effects and stuff.
He's got to have it all.
Yep. But that was the first thing that hit me. Before you even get to the first shot. And then we get to spend a bunch of minutes. My mark for this, there is 17 minutes and 20 seconds of this movie, which is almost not this movie. It
Totally.
is
the
the glue.
end of the last movie. Yeah.
We got to get Ripley out of the suspension chamber. We got to tell her where she's going because we have to transition from a horror movie into an action combat movie. And this is the start of that. And there's just so much great stuff in here. I just want to point out how cool these lasers are.
Yeah. Yeah. And remember, this was what, 88?
86.
86. A blue laser.
I like the oil. I like the sort of oil on water effect there too.
Yeah.
There's a million ways that you could have done this shot and it would have been just as effective. But I don't know if that's oil or smoke, but that's cool. And throughout the whole thing, I mean, you say what you will about James Cameron, but James Cameron, Ridley Scott, those are directors who care what every single frame looks like. And I respect that.
I'm fairly sure they used a hazer just from my experiments in the US 12 basement house.
a professional stadium scale hazer can haze up a small residential home very efficiently.
Yeah, turns out in a few seconds.
So like the first 6 notes were all me. Which is probably for the best. But here's the moment where we get Jonesy back, and of course Paul Reiser.
It's weird. It's weird to have Paul Reiser as a bad guy here, because he's typically a protagonist in most of his other roles. Yeah, I don't know.
I have a really hard time with Paul Reiser. He, to me, is always like a sitcom guy from the 90s.
Totally.
He was that, right? So, like, see...
Yeah, it kind of works for me because I don't really like him.
Oh, I hate him.
No, he was always just like, I'm a nebbish, look at me. Ha, ha, ha. And it's like, ugh.
So it fits perfectly.
Yeah, he's playing against what I think of as his type, but I hate him. And I hated him in everything. Really? So
he's not even being nice to the cat. He's like holding the cat wrong. I mean, he's a bad person, from the very first minute. And also, can I point out the collars? It's very lazy. They just pop them up. I mean, this is not special, at all. Yeah.
There's a lot of notes about this. There's a lot of frugal choices that were made, which aren't necessarily bad. Maybe more like The Thing or something, where you're doing you're being clever with your money. My other note on this is that Chris, you used what's the name of the cat in Aliens as a trivia question on at least 2, maybe 3 separate Golden Penguin bowls.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite questions. It's
and
like
you
Jonesy.
mocked.
If you don't know Jonesy, are you really a nerd?
You mocked the audience the second and third time. It was funny. So there's some good stuff here.
What do you mean? How long was I out there?
That is that whole sequence. How long was I out there? Yeah. And we reveal.
But they didn't tell you?
Yeah.
I'm telling you?
Yeah. And then I spent a not insignificant amount of time trying to parse 57 years. Because 57 years means the only people alive who remember her are like people that she knew when she was a kid, like a baby.
Well, maybe you don't know what life expectancy is in the future.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, unless you land on a planet with a bunch of aliens, maybe you live for a really long time, like 200 years.
I would actually make a pretty big argument. So I mean, I'll go get into this a little bit now because I actually have a lot of thoughts about one particular subject, which is I don't think that this movie is set. Like, I think that this movie is set before Aliens in terms of, or before Alien in terms of production design, technology, all of that. Like, you could tell me that almost anything in this movie, weapons, technology, excluding space travel, which, the MacGuffin that you need for the movie to work, this movie feels like it could be maybe 2030, 2040 from the time when it was made. Like, I'm thinking if you take the late 60s, 2001, like that view of what the future is, this looks only 20 or 30 or 40, like in terms of fashion and everything.
Besides spaceships, androids, and cryogenic sleep.
Yeah. Okay. Three big things.
But yeah, the tools, the weapons aren't crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a question. So one of the things, and I didn't write this down in the notes. So It's 57 years that she was drifting in space in cryogenic sleep. They have cryogenic sleep. And when they were on the planet, they were saying, well, what's the soonest someone can come and help us? He said 17 days. 17 days to go multiple light years, right? Mm-hmm. So they have faster than light travel. Why do they need cryo sleep?
It doesn't make any
sense.
I was a little bit confused too, because they're like, hey, this colony fell offline. We got to go there. Okay, get in the cryovac, 10 months later, we're coming to the rescue.
I feel like, I mean, like I said earlier, it could be a boat. It didn't need to be a spaceship. I feel like the cryo sleep is just a shorthand for the film to say, look, this took a while. The movie doesn't really care, although it does use gonna sabotage your cryo chamber in the later scenes to reveal the badness. But I mean, you literally could set that up by I put arsenic in your iced tea or something. There's a million ways that story can go differently. Ripley's been having some bad dreams. I kind of feel bad for her, One of the things that also I was thinking a lot about is in this first 17 minutes of the movie before we start Aliens, they really lean in to kind of the iconography and stuff of the original movie. There is almost nothing more famous from the first movie than the chestburster scene. And James Cameron literally goes and dangles it in front of you at the 8-minute mark. Yeah. But that whole dream sequence is a really good little scary sequence. It's one of the most scary sequences in the film.
So I also see Alien and Aliens as the great handoff of cast, right? So the original Alien, it had Ian Holm, it had Tom Skerritt, and now we're in a more modern science fiction cast. Every one of these people, well, not everyone, but in this room, but the main characters are all considered kind of modern 80s, 90s, early 2000s, science fiction regulars. You see them in everything, So, I mean, Harry Dean Stanton was in the first one, and his star faded. And so anyway.
No, it's interesting. No, they're both iconic for what they are. And then, of course, Aliens 3.
IQs just dropped sharply while I was away.
Can we not talk about that?
Ma'am, I already said that it was not indigenous. It was a derelict spacecraft. It was an alien ship. It was not from there.
I just really like this. So this whole scene, it's the corporation, and they're quizzing this person who destroyed their ship that cost $43 million and its cargo. And they're like, we have no reason to believe you. We think you're just like this super unreliable person. And she's like, did you all become effing stupid in the last 57 years? And it's just this great index smoky room scene. I just
and again, incredibly well. Cameron, show not tell. Over the shoulders in these shots, we're seeing dead crew members from the previous movie. This is adding gravity to Ripley's her point. Even if you haven't seen the first movie, it's pretty clear that what's going on here.
And can you imagine if a spaceship was only $43 million?
Right? That size?
Yeah, that was a cargo hauler.
If they were that price, I promise you that one of us would know somebody who had access to that spaceship.
Yeah.
I was 1 second off. Go back 1 second if you can. It was the frame's not updating there.
I think
we just saw it. Or maybe it's
is it the
forward.
cat?
No, here.
Yeah.
So I like first of all, science fiction hallway.
Corridor, that was in my notes.
Corridor.
Yeah.
So, second, we are obviously on the wrong side of the reactor core in this. We're in the bad neighborhood of the space station. You got garbage on the floor. You got what looks like a little graffiti there. Yeah. She's clearly down and out, not staying at the Space Hilton.
a lot of these, I don't know if it's this scene or if it's the later one, but there's a lot of scenes where it's not exactly clear even if she's in a spaceship or not. Like it's like they don't take a lot of care of that. She's just in like a crappy room. The thing that I noticed is that on the left-hand side of the frame, which might be off screen to our viewers, I apologize. It looks like a keypad. It looks like a giant, they are literally sitting inside of like a giant telephone booth and they just boop, 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 boop. I just want to see that. There's a lot of weird decisions made here.
Yeah, it's like that's almost like space ballsy silly, you know.
Does she have a window in her room? She has a room in the hospital, but I don't think she does after that. Or a window.
She's in a bad neighborhood. She didn't get a window.
No, and another horrible dream. It's not good to be Ripley. The PTSD is a serious deal.
All right. So this one I thought was kind of, interesting, in very similar to the 2001 video call, where she puts his business card in this, like crazy retro PC.
Yeah.
Right. And like, it calls him, it does a video call. And I thought that would actually like, have someone linked to your personal Zoom room or something. That would work today.
No, this is accurate, and I mean, I guess doesn't all video conferencing in movies essentially descend from 2001 on some level? But this is well done, right? I mean, he's waking up. This is not what 2001 posits. 2001 posits a formal meeting where you awkwardly talk to your spouse from the space station in very small words, using very simple words. This is, you just caught me. I don't know what I was doing. Whatever Paul Reiser does when I'm alone. So, all right, we've just crossed the 17-18 mark, and I make the case, now we are starting Aliens. The glue portion is behind us. And this
We're going to the colony.
This is a great spaceship.
It is, and it was reused so many ways. Starship Troopers, I think Babylon 5 had this ship. I mean, this became like the ship.
I love that it doesn't look like just an airplane in space.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah,
I think that's Aliens thing. I mean, the production design of that start to finish is wholly unique and just glorious.
And the Nostromo was more cargo boat than, container ship, meets oil tanker than spaceship as you'd think about it. So it was
but
really
neither
cool.
of them look like this looks more like a boat in space than a plane in space. It has more in common with Star Blazers than
Star Blazers.
So let's see. We gotta wake everybody up from cryo sleep now. And now is when we get to meet our ragtag band of adventurers.
I love that his first motion is to pop a cigar in his mouth.
His hand the whole time.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not a cigar expert. Maybe y'all are. It can't be good to have a cigar in.
Yeah. Can you imagine how dry that is?
Right.
I mean, it was frozen, and there's like enough condensation that there's like crazing on the window. But
he's not smoking Padrones. Those are these are from his military salaries.
These are Swisher Sweets.
Standard issue Space Marine cigar.
Yep.
They come in the white box with the black sans serif font. Smoke.
They're made out of old tires and tobacco.
All right, man. This is
yeah.
Like I was saying, this when you think of the ragtag military group, here they are.
This is it.
Some kind of consultant. Apparently, she saw an alien once.
Whoopie fucking do.
Yeah.
So the implication here is their job is killing aliens, right? They're bug hunters. On the side of the ship, it says bug hunter, It's like, so aliens are not uncommon in this universe, right? So they've come across aliens before and killed them.
Well,
right?
And
other things.
They call the alien a xenomorph.
Right.
That so, word like, is never used in the first script, is it? In the first movie?
No, I don't think so.
Not the first movie, no.
That's interesting too. That sticks. That's what we call these things now.
Something. It's an alien that adapts to the species that it's invading. It has a point. You know.
When I watched this in the theater, this was the line I liked the most in the whole movie. Oh, it was back a few seconds.
Oh, was it? Because you just got the other great line.
What's this crap supposed to be? Cornbread, I think.
Is that what you wanted? What are you looking for?
No.
Keep going.
Yep. Hey, here we go.
Mind getting some more of that Arcturian poontang. Remember that time?
Tasteful.
No, play it.
Oh, I thought that's what you wanted.
Yeah, the one that you had was male. It doesn't matter when it's Arcturian, baby.
That's the line.
It doesn't matter when it's Arcturian.
Yeah. The other thing that I like, it was in this shot, there's those weird metal magnet balls that to Jake and Elon is behind my head, so I'll lean off the frame. There's several of those in this set. So maybe that's just like if there's a problem with the inertial dampeners, we have like an indicator quick. And of course,
or they just went to a museum gift shop and picked that out.
So I can't begin to tell you how many pencil leads and hands were responsible that this thing was responsible for at my school.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oscar performance.
I have a scar, But, yeah.
Oh, I mean, I've tried this many times when 12-year-old me would,
Yeah, for sure. With things that were probably way too sharp.
Right. No, I probably did it with like butter knives and like the eraser end of a pencil sitting in the cafeteria with Nate. That seems like something that we would have done like maybe 9th, 10th grade.
Yeah. I did have one note in here. I love the light fixtures. If you just scooch back or forward a few seconds, you'll see them. They're just fantastic. They look like they're the top of that one light that they had in like Airplane and in Star Trek and Forbidden Planet, but just hung up there. And it's like they actually put some work into it because each one is uniform. It's got like a little sensor because it's part of a spaceship. It's like this is a great light fixture, and I wanted to call it out.
That is a good design.
There's
Ambaloo notes that they had a drinking bird in Alien, so apparently
that makes sense.
Kitschy museum store stuff is
stuff that's weird gravity stuff.
Yep, that's part of it. That's part of being on a spaceship.
That makes sense though, right? I mean, if you were on a boat, you might have like something that would like show you the like water, you might have an aquarium in your boat or something to like show waves or something. I could see that.
Yeah, if their artificial gravity is wonky, you'd be able to look up and see it.
Right.
Oh, another thing I want to point out: Arcturus is 36.7 light years from Earth. So if they've been to Arcturus having sex and stuff, then we have faster than light travel. It's clear.
If you followed the arc to Arcturus enough, eventually you just get worn out and you have no choice but to drive a spike to Spica? Any other astronomy nerds?
Probably. Almost certainly amongst our viewers.
Right. Well, did anybody else have to memorize that? Follow the arc to Arcturus?
Yeah.
All right, good. I wasn't sure if that was just me. I did Science Olympiad astronomy with Brad Bergman, Nate.
Harvey Birdman?
Yeah, Harvey Birdman. Let's see.
2610. All right.
Go back 10 seconds. There. I just want to point out that when I remember Hudson being kind of the comic relief, but I love him in this. It turns out it should just be about him, number one. And, number two, how many conversations do you think the sergeants had to have with Hudson throughout their time together?
Yeah,
right?
Seriously.
Like it should be part of their morning briefing.
All right, sweethearts, you heard the man and you know the drill. Assholes and elbows. Hudson, come here.
Come here.
Come here. So this is actually the picture I saved as a VC background for tomorrow. Is that planet? Because I was like, man, that is like, I don't know why, but that one just speaks to me and still does all these years later. You know.
Okay, 2746 is that one. This one, yeah.
Yeah, just the first. This is Ripley and the Loader Part 1. First of all, like it just seems very James Cameron. Like the mecha, like the fact that you do a mecha suit for what appears to be a complete throwaway scene. Like literally, this is 30 seconds just showing that she's got a day job, and you've built this mech prop for it.
Yeah.
You know. Part 2 comes later, but I liked it.
Come on, you had to know this was Chekhov.
Totally.
It's Chekhov's Loader.
Yeah.
The other thing that's weird about this whole sequence is at the end when she shows that she can work it, they are like besides themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, they can travel faster than light. They have cryogenic sleep. They kill and sleep with aliens.
Oh,
the fact that a woman can run a loader,
can run a forklift. Yeah.
You know. Like they should see her work a concrete saw.
Yeah,
right. It's good setup though. They it's cool because they respect her. Like in this moment, like you get that they respect her, and that's something that a lot of movies fundamentally fail, right? You put a protagonist in them, you put them with people who don't like them, and they don't earn the respect, and so when you get to the third act, you don't buy it. But this sequence, it friggin' works. But yeah, the loader, I think Avatar has almost exactly the same contraption. There's a lot of shots in this that Cameron reuses. I didn't mark it, but there's a shot of like a building, and there's people walking in the top floor of this building, and it's like over a ground surface. It's exactly the same shot from a scene in Avatar. It's really distinctive. But you know, it all works, man. The guy he's working, and this is effective.
Yeah. The only thing I wanted to point out is she's clearly wearing Reeboks when she's tightening in her feet into little receptacles. And
well, it is an 80s movie. Yeah.
I thought that was something.
This, if you let it play, this is totally the Cybertruck. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I bet you it can stand up to a mere, metal ball being thrown at it.
True.
I actually thought it looked a lot like Batman's tumbler for some reason. But the other thing was, this is the moment where I'm watching this movie, and I really had this moment where I realized that the military tech is really like if you were to make a science fiction movie in 1986 set in 1996, you would basically give these military guys the same gear.
A lot of gun porn.
Yeah, but I mean, it just looks like it looks like 10 years. You know what it does is it looks 10 years in the future. 10 years in the future from wherever you are, it looks 10 years in the future, but it doesn't look 300 years in the future.
I like that they keep it simple, but a lot of it just doesn't make sense. Like
sure.
Articulated armed long rifles. I mean, or heavy machine guns. There's no way you would want to limit your range of motion with that thing like that.
But I guess when you're playing with, when you're making a movie, what Cameron's superpower is making the most mass appeal version of the thing that he wants to make. Laser guns are not nearly as relatable as the big gun. The big gun, you get it. I understand a projectile of metal. It's simpler.
The gun is bigger.
That's right. So it's stronger.
Therefore, Vasquez is tougher.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, if you're traveling, light years away, you probably want a weapon system that's a little bit simpler so that you can perhaps have a chance at fixing it
and repairing it.
Wrong, right?
There's a reason that them AKs are so popular.
Well, I mean, the theory is that, there's nothing keeping a bullet from working in space, right? It's like you don't need an atmosphere to pop it off, right? So
Come on, settle down, people.
I liked that right before this, they say combat seating, and this guy's combat seating is apparently an office chair.
Comfy.
I'm sure it's on a special combat rail, though.
Yeah.
There it was.
Yeah, everyone's sitting, buckled into the wall. He's rolling around inside the inside the truck, basically.
I love her glasses. They're so funny.
Yeah, very Top Gun.
Super Top Gun.
Turning on final.
Okay, stop. I just wanted to point out, did this keep you like this really tickled my Escape from New York and Terminator vibe right here.
The graphics?
Like, this was an Apple II. You know?
That's higher res than an Apple II, or somebody drew that. Those are look at the curvature and the lines. There's no pixels.
Yeah, so maybe it's more Escape from New York for that part.
So I don't know. I think I got this. I don't know if I put the note in. But watch this. I think they do that. Oh no, it's later. The arm things. Let's see. 3354.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
33.
That's mine. 3354. So
yeah.
So nothing about this. I like nothing about this. It looks awesome, but the effects don't quite work. Like the motion isn't smooth, so we don't feel the mass of these arms. And
aerodynamically, it's a disaster.
It's the dumbest idea. It's
and also, you know, when these rockets go off, they're going to set off their mates. You know, it's like there's a lot wrong with this ship, but it does look awfully cool.
Looks cool.
I would also point out kind of this scene, but actually the matte painting for inside the hangar was super jank. It was not up to snuff, and I'm surprised he let it go through.
Hey, someone just said the stream is down. Oh, you got it.
Yep, I'm recording it, so if it's if there's a problem live, I can upload it later. I think that Google might like the algorithm better when you do that anyway.
It's working.
Okay, cool. I'll let you guys interact with Wagyu because I've got to find their next time code. Let's see. I need like better eyes. Why are my eyes getting weaker? I'm getting old.
You're an old man.
It's true. So all right.
You know what that means? It means you need a better monitor, I think.
Bigger, for sure. Ideally what I need is Chris's 3-inch tall monitor. You'll have to have we'll talk about that on Friday. So this is a corridor right here.
Nice.
If you want a sci-fi corridor like for the action movie, this is what you got. This is perfect. It's got the little angled yellow warning stripes. It's got red lights in the distance. Those are filing cabinets just smashed in front of you. This is good decoration.
That's a little weird. Yeah. Dangling hose. Lots of dangling hose.
Yep.
It's very Fallout-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So many people learned from this, you know.
Iconic, man.
This one where they go into the room with all the bottled parasites, and he's like, "Are they the same ones?" Like, "Oh no, these are the other alien parasites.
Yeah,
They're
we're fine.
harmless.
We're fine."
So apparently, Little Shop of Horrors was being recorded at the same time at Pinewood in London, outside London, and I guess they broke a hole into the Little Shop of Horrors set when they were doing some of their scenes.
Like they shared a wall? That's awesome.
Yeah, but like picture this, like Seymour, you know, it kind of fits. It kind of looks like with the tentacles and the rest, you know. It can work.
Do you think that the xenomorph is a descendant of Audrey 2? Like are xenomorphs Audrey 3?
Yeah, I think that there's a relationship there.
That's fair. There are many times where stay frosty. They say it, I think 2, maybe 3 times in this movie. They tell you to stay frosty. And I have heard that line. I don't know if this is the origin of that phrase, but I've heard it a lot. And
in Top Gun too, so I don't know which one came out first.
Is Top Gun 86 or 85? I'll leave it to Ambaloo and Wagyu to figure out. Let's see. Oh, we're jumping a little bit now. I'll leave.
So they discover the feral child here,
Newt.
Newt, and 5107. I just really like her reaction to being questioned about the base and her parents.
They're dead. go now?
That is exactly what my kids would say if they were questioned by authorities. They'd be like,
"Yep,
adults.
I'm done. I'm done doing this. I want to go watch YouTube or something.
Yep.
Just leave me alone."
Right?
Like, have you seen The Corridor? What do you think?
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, she knows they're all gonna die. Yep. She knows that adults are stupid. I looked this actress up. She's basically only been in like this and like one other thing, and that's like a thing that's in production. She doesn't like she's not like an adult actress really. She's cool in this movie, but I can definitely see if you're a hardcore like because James Cameron, that's his thing, right? He did it in Terminator 2, right? He takes a good movie and then adds a kid. And he likes doing that. And he did the same thing in True Lies, right? Halfway through the movie, you stick Eliza Dushku in there. He likes that. And I can imagine that amongst a certain demographic, like, oh man, now it's kid hijinks. I remember hearing that a lot with Terminator 2. Like, Terminator 1's better because it doesn't have that kid.
I was annoyed by the kid. Like she acted like a real kid, and she realized that the only survival strategy is always go into the smallest hole that you can find out of a room. Like that was all you have to do, basically.
She is smarter than the grown-ups, man.
I mean, she lived for how many? How long?
It's not. Did they say? Because she hasn't been there for years.
She says it briefly when Bill Hicks is freaking
14
out.
months. It's a long time.
14 months.
Yeah.
Because she says something. That little girl has stayed here incredibly long.
Co-training.
Yeah.
So just let it play so you can see the tank thing come down. So what this tells me is this tank is designed for colony oppression. Like they built the colonies and then they built a tank whose job is to go into the colony and shoot people.
Right. This is the Union Buster.
Yep.
This is the Union Buster right here.
Well, that's the other relationship to Tesla then.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going anywhere near this shit.
This is a cliche now, but I don't feel like it was quite the cliche when this came out. But you have the team going in, and you've got radios, but also in a lot of the scenes, they're watching the camera. I think Vasquez is wearing a camera, and I'm trying to think of an older movie where that's like they would have a radio, but I don't remember a lot of movies where they've actually got video feeds.
Mm-hmm.
This is also one of the first I can remember that have like output of their vitals too, and that becomes a thing later in movies.
Wagyu says that the actress who plays Newt is a teacher now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're now in.
She's only 44 years old.
Yeah.
Go figure.
She's our age, man. How's that for depressing?
Isn't that weird? She's younger than me, but yeah. So.
Let's see.
Weird. She just looks like a suburban mom,
She doesn't look like a Newt anymore?
Nope. I mean, you can still see it.
Yeah, this is where we discover the nest or the amalgamated colonist
the nursery
center. Yeah, exactly.
The birthing center.
Yeah.
But no, I just like at this point you're kind of expecting to see aliens. You're not really expecting to see the pile of human corpses that are incubating them.
They do a really good job of hiding the actual aliens for the first hour of the movie. There's not a lot of interaction with them.
Yeah, so we talked about canonical scenes. This is the kill me scene.
Kill me. Just stay calm.
Yeah, that's it. That's the whole thing right there. Every other kill me scene is going to be measured and based on it, And she's so much better than Michael Ironside's kill me scene in Starship Troopers, just for the record. You know what to do.
Yeah.
But Starship Troopers is so fun. In a lot of ways, Starship Troopers is so clearly a parody of this. It's weird.
It's such a fantastic movie, but it's not the one I'm picking.
No, you shouldn't. It's from the 90s. It's late 90s. Too much CGI.
I already have notes on it in the spreadsheet. Because I know we're going to get to it eventually.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I got to cut that off, Chris, before you wanted us to hear the music.
Yeah, that is the Khan and the Motaran Nebula sound.
the same
it
theme.
It's the same guy. It's Horner, who was an uncredited contributor to Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, and so you hear the Khan like that. It's like over and over.
Did you own this on a record when you were a kid?
I did.
I called it.
I did. I loved collecting soundtracks when I was a younger person.
Oh, for sure. But specifically,
millions of soundtracks.
Did you have it on a record?
No.
Oh,
no,
all right.
No. This is I wouldn't. Yeah, no. That would not come for me during the record days.
All right, let's hear Ripley.
I kind of missed records. I was more cassettes and then straight to CDs.
This has been a discussion with me and my wife because we both had a few records and a few tapes, and it's always interesting to see where that transition occurs for people because that kind of nails down their age. It's like, what was the show on TV when you got home from school?
You know what I had on record? I had The Black Hole on record.
Sorry.
Me too.
What are we talking about this for?
I say we take off.
All right, here we go.
Take off and nuke the entire site from orbit.
The line.
It's the only way to be sure.
Man, Ripley can pull it off. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Very quotable. This whole scene actually kind of bugs me. It's way too soundstage. I wish they could have done it a little better.
This is, however, when we get Bill Paxton's Oscar-worthy acting, knife scene aside, and then his best soundbite in the movie.
Yeah, rest in peace, buddy.
Great. That's just fucking great, man.
Now what are we supposed to do?
Now what the fuck are we supposed to do? We're some real pretty shit now, man. Finished.
Yeah.
I want to get the other one too, but I don't want to run straight through.
Yeah, no, you can't. You gotta stop before that.
Why don't we try that?
And here's hers.
Because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night.
Mostly.
Mostly.
I was actually before we were doing this, I thought about sampling a couple of lines, and that's the only one that I really wanted. That mostly. That's just
Mostly.
Thank you, South Park.
Kid.
She nails the role, man.
Oh, you got to play Game Over, man.
Oh, did we have that as the
Game Over, man?
That's at 46 that I shoot past it.
Yep.
11, 13, 46.
And they mostly come at night. Mostly.
It might have been before it. I apologize. But
I thought I marked it too. This was the shot. This shot, if you look in Avatar, there's almost exactly the same shot where there's like this overlooking thing. It was before? I want to hear it.
It's between 1302 and here.
Well, that's great.
Go for it.
All right.
Guess we're all full of lies.
Wagyu was saying it was before then, like closer to 1:12.
All right. Well, if somebody happens to find the real code, otherwise I'm going to have to move on.
Let's move on.
And we're
Game over, man.
Game over, man.
There we go. We got it.
Yep, we did it. The first line of the crash scene. Let's see.
Space microfiche.
Oh, we're jumping quite a bit here.
A little bit of flirting.
Yeah.
I mean, how could you not? Bishop is so sexy.
We still hit the corporate guy.
So much.
Yeah. He's great. And he's wearing a VC vest in that one.
Yeah, he looks like he's about to hop into his Range Rover and go up to Tahoe.
Yep. And put together a term sheet.
Yep.
blast radius of 30 kilometers, equal to about 40 megatons.
Is that accurate?
All I said was right before that he says we've got 4 hours before it blows, and I was like, ticking clock, here it comes.
Yep.
You know. So yeah.
You know you're not getting out of there until 3:59:58.
That's right.
Exactly. Well, how is there only 2 seconds left on the explosion?
Why do you even bother filming the rest of it? Just show me the last 4 seconds. So there are a couple of events in my life that I can say this is why I'm mildly claustrophobic. And this scene is one of them. When they weld him into there, my heart just drops. That scares the snot out of me.
No, it's like Data. Data's fine with clothes.
No, he doesn't have real feelings.
If he looked like a machine, would it bother you?
Yeah.
Yeah, if it was like a pig. Yeah.
No. The thing I was going to point out is, when you cut a hole like that with a plasma cutter or a or even a grinder, that son of a bee is hot, right? So anyone sitting on that thing is burning their butt. There's a fire starting, right? So it's like, I always see this in movies where they cut a hole in something and it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna lick it.
Right.
Like,
yeah. This scene just, I think this is what I think of now when I hear that Taco's having problems with his PC. This is in my imagination what it looks like these days.
Well, yeah, and like, but with more acid in the all-in-one
smoke,
cooler,
smoke, RAM chips exploding.
Oh yeah.
gale force wind.
That's just I've got a Noctua fan in there. My hair is like being blown back constantly.
And don't forget the controller there to his left. At any given moment, he might pick that up and rearticulate the floor or whatever that controls.
There's you guys are scaring me because there's like a 50% chance that this computer dies before the stream ends. So I think you're just.
I like those odds.
That's fair. I actually
consistent.
I have what arrived a few minutes ago on my porch. I have new RAM and a Windows Update icon on my dock right now, on my bar. I am ready to make this computer worse.
Which one are you going to chance first?
I think I have to do the update. I don't really have a choice, do I? It's just going to do it. In fact, I was going to reboot before we started today, but I was like, if I do that, it's gonna run through my my thing, and that's no good.
So I have a theory. It's actually your keyboard somehow.
Wouldn't that be great? That's right. If it is my keyboard, then that would be pretty amazing.
Or it's your mouse cable.
I have a wireless mouse, but maybe it's Logitech. Maybe the dongle is corrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the point at which we know she got set up.
Yeah.
By Paul Reiser.
That VC jerkbag.
Was his sitcom with Helen Hunt?
Yes.
All right. So he's just bad to women in general.
Well, I don't think he was bad to her in the show. He was just annoying.
Maybe I just hate him.
Yeah, I think that's it. And it's okay. Everyone, it's okay to hate Paul Reiser.
It's okay. He's on the list.
He's on the list. The hateables.
Yep.
After his many sordid crimes.
Yep.
Oh, man, this whole thing.
So this is just, the chase.
This is scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is pretty classic horror schmaltz.
Ruthlessly effective. There is not a lot of wasted material.
I remember wondering how strong those things actually could be.
Yeah. Can they pin you down?
Because they look like they're maybe roughly lobster toughness. Like you think you get a good foot stomp on one and you should be able to kill them, but
yeah,
they make it sound like they're pretty robust.
It's a matter of mass, right? Like a eagle's claw, an eagle's talon isn't that big, but it can do a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's really hold you down,
Well, I don't know if you've ever been bitten by like a crab or something, but it's no good. So I don't remember if I saw this in the theater or not, but what I do remember is when those little fingers come over the corner of that piece of furniture, everyone I was watching with just went.
All right, I'll let it run.
They were freaked.
So my problem with this scene, I think it's this scene, the shrill screaming of Newt, and then also there's an alarm, like a high pitched wee wee alarm going in the background. So I was watching this at about 9:10. When I had just got my children to like chill out in their room, and there was some complications getting the children to the room, and I was deathly afraid as that sound burst out of my speakers that I was going to wake up both of my children and ruin the next hour of my night. I was really glad I did, but the sound in that scene is actually really, it was too much for me.
Intense. It's really intense.
Pathetic.
You know, Burke, I don't know which species is worse. You don't see them fucking each other over for a goddamn percentage.
That's a great fucking line.
Yep. It's a good line.
Yeah. It's not about the cap table, Paul Reiser.
That's a good shot.
Yeah. I mean, you have to realize that before this movie and Die Hard, like nobody was worrying about air ducts, or drop ceilings. And then I seem to remember we had a regular D&D game, and we started adding stuff like this, where it's like, did you look at the ceiling? Did you look at above you? Are you looking around? Roll for perception. Come on, And so
you assume they're coming through the door because you think like a human being. So I want to say, if you are a guy who wears a rubber alien suit and jumps around when explosions happen, this is your Citizen Kane. Yeah, this is the best work that anyone will ever do in rubber suits as aliens jumping around with explosions. You're done. Hang it up.
Never mind that fish sex movie.
You're pretty close. I think they do a good job in Predator too.
That's fair.
Yeah, I gotta use it.
But yeah, everything else.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that the Con soundtrack? Was that Con? That was Con. Sorry.
You're right though. Horner, he doesn't know all the notes. I think that's the problem.
Man, but the notes he knows.
He only knows
the notes he knows.
It's the notes he doesn't play.
Good. Yeah.
Turns out the notes he doesn't play are just the bad ones.
Yeah, I just wanted to pour one out for Gorman. His character. It was ultimately redeemed. He was not going to leave his soldier behind, and he's like, "Well, if we're going out, we're taking him with us."
Yep.
And it's a strangely affecting moment. Just want to say.
Well, and again, it's we talk about military tropes. I mean, there you go. There's the self-sacrifice. How many? If you've seen that in 100 movies, I mean, it's perfect. It's just really well executed.
Perfectly executed.
Oh, I just wanted to say this is the world's worst slide.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, there's the peril that she's going to get caught in the machinery, and then it does basically turn into a slide. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, she's probably fine. She
is like it's a moderately dangerous playground.
I was thinking,
stick your legs out. You're not going that fast.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the first time that I ever rode the black hole at Pleasure Island. It probably looked a lot like this, but there's a line reading at the end of this that oof.
No.
Yeah.
Come on, we can find her with this.
Come on, we can find her with this. What? Okay.
So the thing I wanted to point out is when she's rolled into that air handler, it's just there's too much clearance.
Yeah.
This is a ridiculous science fiction machine.
Yeah.
It's like the clampers in Galaxy Quest.
This was clearly like, we have the child. Time to put the child in peril to heighten the sense of of gravity.
Do you have anything about the size of a garbage can? It's like, Yeah. So, I mean, in real air handling equipment, she would have been blundered, you know?
The motion sensor thing, that device, that actually registers to me really powerfully too from my childhood.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a trope
really.
that gets used a lot now, but I don't remember seeing it a lot back in the day.
Yeah, it really is.
This was you, Nate. I don't know if you.
I maybe get this is 5131. No,
this was 4638.
Yeah, sorry, that was the peril of the girl. Keep going.
I'm out of here, man. We're going to the next one.
Man,
so now we're really folding in. We're really leaning into what everybody would remember about this movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wet Sigourney Weaver, wet T-shirt, armed to the teeth. Yeah,
it's sweaty. It's not wet. I mean,
it's moist.
This is her Rambo suiting up moment.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
It's so good, and like she freaking nailed it. Like everyone's like after this, they were like Sigourney Weaver, what a badass! Holy crap!
Yeah, there are basically 3 shots in this movie that she has earned that reputation on those 3 shots alone. It's like her with the gun, her in the loader. And like baby. Yeah, maybe like 1 or 2 of her badass lines. I think because Alien, she's fantastic and it's a classic movie, but it's a horror movie, so it automatically becomes a niche movie, and it's a sci-fi alien movie. It's a niche movie. This is mainstream, man. This makes a ton of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next time code is mine. It is again another just iconic shot. Of her holding the kid. Yep, right there. Just seeing mother for the first time.
Bam. Look at that.
Wow.
What a
scene.
They don't make a lot of better aliens anymore, that's for sure. Back in the era when you had to build them all instead of just model them. Let's see. Did I get the wrong time code for this? I mean, this whole sequence is just shot after shot. Oh, watching the queen
detaching of the egg sac.
That's a badass move. I like that. That is commitment, man. Sorry, next generation. I got shit to kill. Oh,
yeah. So this I found interesting just because of the android gore. So we get to see what's inside the artificial human, which is, I mean, it looks vaguely biological, but it's not red, right? It's it's yellow. Yep, it's yogurt.
Yeah,
it's strange that they've decided to give him what appear to be intestines, right?
Yeah, tubes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
No purpose. So
yeah. No, what kills me about this is like I always thought like yogurt was sort of like if you had an acid and you added yogurt to it, it would nullify it, right? So maybe that's why the aliens and the androids, they kind of work together,
Why are you trying to nullify yogurt?
He's got some spare time,
yogurt
man.
Nullifying the acid.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Ripley in the loader part 2 again.
Yep.
Iconic shot being backlit right here.
And the iconic sound is at 43 seconds. So, but yeah. You gotta pause it and then let it go again. Otherwise you're gonna get
this is the mandatory Googe insertion point.
Yes.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Yeah.
Yay!
And then, of course, we have the final fight sequence, and I think that's our last note.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man. Well,
no, so there's a lot of good fighting here. The thing that kills me is after it's all wrapped up, she sort of tucks Newt into her cryosleep bed, and Newt's just hunky dory, and Michael Biehn is recovering in cryosleep, and I'm just like, yeah, no one's scarred for life here.
Nope.
It's fine, and I'm just like, that was a little bit of a wrap up, but yeah, great movie.
In all fairness, Newt's been living here for 14 months. Newt is never growing up normal. Like that.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, and Ripley, I mean, this is the second time she's been through this. No wonder in Aliens 3 she's not the same character.
So, and also, just looking at her, doesn't she kind of look like the kid in Contact?
A little bit.
A little bit.
I mean, if they really wanted to be kind to Newt, they would just gather all the food they have, bring her back, give her the food, and be like, there.
Yep.
You're queen of the planet now.
Yep, you're going to be fine.
And Ripley and Newt get to have a restful slumber. Good on them.
Which I was kind of half expecting to see like a tail, come up alongside, but it didn't happen
until the third.
And the third movie where they completely destroy the Alien franchise.
Well, don't they basically just kill Newt in cryosleep? We don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
That seems like work.
Well, and her, right? Because she's a clone.
Yep.
God, that's such a. Let's not talk. Aliens 3 didn't happen.
You know what?
So bad.
I'm gonna watch Aliens 3 in the next few weeks, just because I haven't watched it since I watched it. I think in theaters.
It was Joss Whedon, right? Who did that one?
It's Fincher. It's Fincher, man.
No,
I think it is.
Okay,
it was.
Wait a second.
Yeah, I think it was his thing before.
Aliens 3, and it looks great, but yeah. Writers were Dan O'Bannon and Ronald Shusett. Dan O'Bannon,
Alien Resurrection was written by Joss Whedon.
That's
and
what I was thinking about.
It was
a little better.
Directed by Jeunet, who is the guy who did Amelie and City of Lost Children. And it's not very good.
It's not very good. It's extremely stylish.
But it is stylish.
But that's not that's not what people were looking for after Alien 3. They're like, oh, you know what we need? Style.
Well, were they looking for Prometheus?
Yeah, right. Oh, God,
that's a train wreck too. Thank you, Nate. This is a fantastic choice. I was so glad to have the opportunity to go see this one again. This is great. Now we have to come together and decide about next week.
Yeah. So it's my turn apparently. So here's the thing. I actually really like this one director and writer. And so I'm just going to apologize ahead of time. It's the same guy who did Pitch Black and did, some other movies. One of his first movies was The Arrival with Charlie Sheen, and I kind of love it.
All right.
I remember loving it. So that's going to be next week's movie.
The Arrival.
I was thinking of Roadhouse, but it's just too crappy. I was thinking of Dark Star, but it's that's maybe the next one.
All right.
Because Dark Star is both it's the proto movie for Alien, for like parts of Star Wars, and it's by John Carpenter.
It's really old too.
That would be good.
That's like early 70s, right?
It's kind of hard to watch. It's like their film school experiment.
We'll talk then.
But yeah, so The Arrival.
The Arrival. What year is that?
1996.
1996. Oh wow, we're in the 90s. Yeah. This is our first non-Christmas 90s movie.
Yeah. And also, I kind of hate Charlie Sheen as a person. I think he's a terrible, terrible person. But I still, I remember liking the movie. So.
All right. Have I seen it? I think I've seen this. All right, folks. Let's say goodbye to Wagyu and Amblue and Jake and Elon and the rest. And
goodbye, everybody.
We got to really work on our romper room ending. Goodbye, Chris DeBona.
Mm-hmm. Bye.
Nate Ostendorp.
See ya.
Rob Roseboom.
Bye.
I'm Rob Commander Taco Malda. This has been Geeks in Space. We'll see you Friday.